The child may also form some kind of erotic attachment to the parent of the opposite sex. That often happens. That commonly happens. And while the child may not have a full understanding of what sexuality means, there are some kind of primitive physical sensations that are felt when they think about the parent in question. There's no question about that. It's there. Many of you will deny it, but it's real. What jealousies occur? The primitive desire for the one parent may also awaken in the child a jealous motivation to exclude the other parent. If you're a parent listening to this, you know all of this is going on. You have to be a parent to understand this truthfully. Or you have to be a well-educated single person to understand this. Otherwise, it's almost going to go right over your heads, and you're going to say, well, what is all this gibberish? Well, as I say to you, this show is, as usual, the unusual. Don't expect me to sit here and talk about the ordinary because it's boring. A critical point of awakening occurs when the child realizes that the mother has affections for others besides itself, and then that leads to jealousies. Now, by the way, opposition to parents may not necessarily be sexually based. I want to repeat that. Opposition to a parent or parents may not necessarily be sexually based. This can also be a part of the struggle to assert one's identity and rebellion against parental control. That's also very common. However, there's a critical aspect of the Oedipal stage, which is loosening of the ties to the mother of vulnerability, dependence, and intimacy. This is a natural part of the child becoming more independent. It's facilitated by the realization that the mother desires more than just the child. The child has to accept that the mother desires more than he or she. The Oedipal move blocks the roots of sexual identification love back to the mother. She becomes a separate object removed from his ideal self. Thus, she can be the subject of object love. Then it becomes a little tacky. And then the father's role comes in, and I don't want to go into that right now because his father was absent. There was an absentee father. And so the boy returns to the mother as a separate individual in the Oedipal complex. And that becomes an issue as well. Then his mother died when he was young. So you can read more of this on your own. The fact is that there is a relationship between a mother and son that is unique in all cases. Not all of us emerge from this relationship unscathed. In fact, I would argue that most, if not all men, emerge from the mother-son relation with deep scars. There's no question about it. And it's only a matter of the extent of the pathology that becomes worrisome. Do I have to give you the extreme examples? No, I don't have to mention them. There are extreme examples. But the troubles that many men get into are directly related to an imperfect relationship with their mothers. And the reason we're talking about it today is because the lipstick on a pig comment has triggered a cascade of discussion across America and certainly throughout the savage nation about what in the fact is Barack Hussein Obama's woman problem. And that's why we're going into the Oedipal complex. Again, I want to tell you that excessive separation within an Oedipal complex, which he had because his mother was continuously leaving him, leads to a sense of helplessness that can, in some cases, turn to patterns of idealized control and self-sufficiency, meaning a sense of overconfidence, which I think shines through in his often arrogant demeanor, where he says, I need nobody. I'm in control. I don't need a mother. I don't need a father. I'm sufficient unto myself. And that can be very dangerous because that unto itself is a narcissism that can lead to a disaster for a country. Needless to say, there are many examples of leaders who were narcissistic and they were catastrophic for the nation they were trying to lead. You understand that?